Look, you can tell by the batter on these onion rings, man. These are not from a frozen bag.
Right, yeah.
That's the first thing I notice when I look at this plate. Those are beautiful. Oh. Hey friends, Greg Hudson here, coming to you from Camden, Tennessee, between Memphis and Nashville, at a restaurant that has been a part of Camden for 50 years, and it's been owned by new ownership in the past 6. But in those 6 years, they've been faced with a flood, a global pandemic, and a fire that burnt down the entire restaurant. But even though Mother Nature threw everything she had at her, she's back and bigger and better than ever. So come on in, let's meet the owners and have a bite at Country and Western Steakhouse in Catfish. I think I found D.
Hi.
I either found D or I found the Salvation Army bucket. I don't know.
I'm D.
D, great to meet you. I'm Greg.
Nice to meet you,
Very
Greg.
nice to meet you. What's going on back there?
I'm just making a whiskey sour.
Oh, well, we got here just in time,
Yeah,
friends. We
for
sure
sure.
did. This is beautiful. My gosh. Okay, you go ahead. Keep doing what you're doing. Yeah, I'm like just admiring this place. And, you know, this is not what I expected. I mean, I've done a little research. We're here because we really want to hear your story. But this is not what I expected when I walked in here. This is incredible. I mean, I know you guys have come a long way, but now the place itself, the restaurant has been around for like, what, 40, 50 years?
51 years.
Okay.
And we bought it 6 years ago. And we've been through a flood, a pandemic, and then our restaurant burnt. And we opened here about a year ago at this new location.
Whoa, okay. Because I did some research, I did some Googling, and this is not the building that I thought I was walking into today. It's just not. Yeah. I mean, gorgeous, gorgeous decor, facade, the ceilings, everything. So, if I'm not mistaken, in that time, the 50 years, like catfish is a big thing down here, right? Like that's...
Catfish is, and has always been, our #1 seller.
Really?
We do steaks and pork chops since we moved to the new location, but catfish is still king. And we're on the Catfish Trail.
Hold on.
U.S. farm-raised catfish.
Hold on a second. We got a lot to unpack here. So, catfish is king. If you don't put that on a t-shirt, I'm going to. Catfish is king. I love that.
Yes.
I can't wait to try some today.
Well, here's some U.S. farm-raised catfish.
Yeah, I was gonna make sure this was U.S. farm-raised catfish.
That's right.
This is, what a beautiful platter. So I see we got some hush puppies on here, some onion rings.
All made in-house.
So that's what I wanted to know, because look, you can tell by the batter on these onion rings, man. These are not from a frozen bag.
Right, yeah.
That's the first thing I notice when I look at this plate. Those are beautiful. Oh. What are you using in that breading that's so crunchy? I mean, the crunch on this is intense.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
Yeah, you're not going to tell me, are you? Panko.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Can't tell
Oh, and you got those sweet onions in there too. Using the sweet ones. Ah, this is great. I feel like I'm from the South right now. I'm sitting here, I got a catfish platter, I've got a plaid shirt on. I'm at a place called Country and Western Steakhouse. I'm talking like this. Austin's laughing at me. Okay. Back to the, okay, now let's go to the catfish.
Okay.
Oh.
U.S. farm-raised catfish.
Yeah, sorry. This is U.S. farm-raised catfish. This is not imported from Zanzibar. No. I don't even know if they have catfish. This, again, back to the breading and the crust on this. This is like cornmeal crust? Is that what that is? That's just gorgeous. Oh. Oh, man.
Pretty decent.
You know what I love about that is there is so much fantastic seasoning in that. Same thing with those onion rings. You guys are seasoning your breading so well. So this is really good. Catfish to me has been hit or miss, and I'll tell you why. This is a true story. When I was a kid, I got stung by a catfish, and it hurt like beep. And ever since then, I have hated catfish. You'd think I just want to eat them because I'd be so upset. But I don't know. That's the true story. When I was a kid, about 8 years old, I just got stung by a catfish and haven't eaten one since. This is
okay.
You might have converted me.
Now this is not equal to all catfish. This is different.
This was a nice catfish. This was a very nice catfish.
What kind of catfish was that?
It was a nice catfish. Wasn't one that's a U.S. farm raised catfish.
You got it.
She's gonna make me say that every single time now. Now the other one that stung me, that one was from Zanzibar. That's why I didn't like it too much.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I love Zanzibar, great people. Now wait a second. You said something about a catfish trail.
Correct.
When you say something trail, I'm from the Cincinnati area, northern Kentucky, right there. We're on the bourbon trail. I collect bourbon. A lot of people do it where I'm from. Tell me there's not a catfish trail that's like a bourbon trail.
It's exactly like the bourbon trail. Catfish trail put on by the Catfish Institute, and they only select restaurants that use the U.S. farm-raised catfish.
So you can go on their website or get a little pamphlet or an app, and you can find out all the good catfish restaurants. Do people go around and taste and rate catfish and stuff?
I hope so.
If there's a trail
That's
for
what
it.
they're hoping that they do.
Man, I'm going to be honest. I really do like this. I mean, this is outstanding. I don't need to dip it in anything. It's just, it's fantastic. It's very flavorful. We've got breading. So now I understand why, because this was the big thing for years and years at the old location, right?
Sure. Top seller.
But then I walk in, and you guys are calling this steakhouse and catfish.
Mm-hmm.
So does that mean that with this new location, kind of changed up the menu a little bit?
Yeah, we've added some pasta dishes. We've upped our steak game, added a pork chop, added some great shrimp scampi back there, and I think Nikki's back there cooking some.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to have one more. But I got to have one more bite of U.S. farm-raised catfish here at Country and Western Steakhouse and Catfish. Now back to your regular programming. Okay, that was just for the Institute. I got to head back to that kitchen, man, because if you're doing steaks and chops and shrimp now, I need to see what that's all about.
Yeah.
So, all right, see you in the kitchen. Cheers. Well, let me introduce you to Chef Nick right here, who's going to help us put together a dish. We had the fish, which that's what this area is known for, right?
Yes, sir.
You guys have a catfish trail, I just found out?
Yes, sir. We have probably one of the best fish in West Tennessee and everything. Yes, sir.
Whoa! They're in part of the catfish trail. But now that you guys are in this new location, beautiful restaurant, this is a beautiful kitchen back here and a beautiful line you got.
Yes, sir.
And you guys have sort of increased what you're making now from the old menu.
Yes, sir. A lot more variety, a lot more time and effort into each and every dish and everything. Yes, sir.
Well, and that's what I'd heard is a lot from scratch now as well.
Yes.
And that's kind of what we're going to be doing right now with this dish, right?
Yes,
what do you got for us?
Right now we have the garlic shrimp. We're going to go through all of that and everything, step by step and everything.
All right, garlic shrimp, let's go.
Yes, sir. So, Dustin, can you hand me the oil, please? Dustin, I need some oil. Thank you. So usually, what I like to do is I'll cook it real hard on one side, and just the residual heat, so it doesn't overcook the shrimp. Will just makes it to where it's about halfway cooked, and we'll finish it off in the wine and everything.
So, in looking at this, Chef,
sir.
It looks like the garlic is already in there. We didn't throw any in there.
Yes, sir. It's marinated in salt, olive oil, and garlic. Yes, sir.
Oh, so as they're being stored in the chiller,
yes, sir,
they're already being marinated in some of these in the olive oil, the garlic.
Yes,
it's gonna already take on some of that flavor as we're cooking it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, it's starting to. I can smell that garlic, man. It's coming through. Shrimp starting to turn a little bit for us.
We also I don't mean to keep it. We need to get some butter ready for our sauces and everything, and all of that. And usually we'll do the sauce in this pan over here.
So you weren't kidding, Nick. We're really building this thing from scratch.
Yes, sir.
Like sauce all the way through. It's not like we're going to take some sauce and just kind of pour it over that. We're building the sauce from scratch here.
Yes, sir. All of it is from scratch.
Wow.
About. Yes, sir. And
I nerd out over this. Like just watching those shrimp really start to gain that color. Oh yeah. And again, that garlic, you could just smell it. And I'm curious too, I'll be really honest with you. In cooking shrimp, I've never sort of just marinated it like that in the garlic,
yes,
just ready to go as soon as you throw it in the pan.
it makes it so much better. It makes the taste of it like consistent all the way through.
I was going to ask you, so does that shrimp, does it really soak in some of those flavors as it's marinating before you throw it in the pan?
Yes, sir. It's usually we try to do it the night before and everything, so overnight or even a day or two in advance.
Oh, beautiful.
So get the whole thing and everything.
So a little butter, a little white wine here.
Yes, sir. Get it nice, get the pan nice and hot and everything, so it cooks down and all that and everything.
There it is. And it is just crazy to think about these dishes being made from scratch every time. Like, you're not just doing this because we're here now. When someone orders that garlic shrimp, you come over here and make this whole thing from scratch,
Yes,
made
sir.
to order, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's wild. That's what I love, though. That's that scratch kitchen stuff we're talking about that at America's Best Restaurants. That's what we love to see, especially from these independent restaurants where they're doing it the right way from scratch, right there in the pan every time you order.
So right now usually it takes about 3 minutes for all of this to cook down, just about. And right about now we can maybe get some fire happening.
You can see that butter melting down. Oh yeah, there we go. Let that alcohol burn off that Chardonnay. Let's see if you caught that little music lyric I threw in there. Except it's not Chardonnay. And I like what you did. The shrimp is just par cooked enough
Yes.
so that when we get it into the pan with the sauce, it's going to finish that cook process.
Yes, sir. It makes it to where it's not overcooked, not tough. It's the perfect doneness.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
See, but I love that you're thinking about those small details, because that's true. If you go ahead and finish these shrimp already to the point that they're done, you throw them in this hot sauce,
Right.
they're going to get rubbery. They're going to get, so the fact that you guys are looking at those details, man, I love that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Little southern scamping, you might say.
Yes, sir. And then now,
Little S&P there. What else? Oh, I see some. What else you throwing in there?
this is the Italian seasoning.
Okay.
Just a small pinch of it, usually. So at this point, we have the garlic, red pepper flakes, and Italian seasoning in there, along with the wine and butter.
This just smells so good. I mean, it just smells incredible. Did you throw some of that fresh garlic in there too?
I did. We just use a little pinch of it because the shrimp itself gives it such a strong garlic flavor.
Right.
But you just want the sauce to also have that garlic flavor too.
I like that you're adding that freshly sliced garlic in there with it. Oh man, that's... You know, and another thing too that I think it is worth mentioning is really good food and really great food doesn't need to have 50 different ingredients in it. It needs to have just a few ingredients that are done very, very well and that marry well together.
Yes, sir. It's all about the technique.
It is. It really is. And a lot of times that's what's so successful about Italian cooking. So to have an Italian dish at Country Western like this, but yet done in the right way, as you would at an Italian restaurant, it's pretty impressive. A few ingredients, the butter, the garlic, a little pepper, a little seasoning, and that's your sauce. Man, I just love the attention to detail and the care that goes into the fact that you do this individually for every single order that comes in.
Every single order, yes, sir. This garlic shrimp and also our Tuscans are probably our most popular dishes here.
I think this might quickly become one of my favorite dishes here. Looks like we are almost there. Was it tough for you to learn some of these newer recipes, like on the saute station when you came over here?
Yes, yes, it was. It was.
Take you a while?
Yes, sir. Whenever we transitioned to this new building, I was not a cook whenever we first got here. But Roy has taught me a lot on how to do a lot of this stuff over here.
You're handling this like a pro, man. Ice in the veins.
Not quite. Just about.
How we looking? Almost there?
Yes, sir.
Starting to get a little opaque there, which we're looking for on the shrimp, so that you know it's done but not rubbery. And that sauce is really starting to take on some color. As we mentioned, man, I mean, you could already smell it for 5 minutes now, but
I think we're about done.
it's about there.
Yes, sir. I think so.
Okay.
And then most of us back here.
Tell me we're gonna pour all that sauce over top, please.
Yes, sir, we are. Yes, sir. Let the garlic continue to cook. Get it nice and brown, toasted.
I like that.
Yes, sir.
And you know what? You're not skipping on the shrimp over here, Nick. You're giving the people what they want. You got 7 shrimp in there? Is this how it always comes? You doing this for us?
No, that's how it always comes.
This is how it
Yes,
always
sir.
comes.
Yes, sir.
So see, even if you show up here, you're gonna get a really nice bunch of shrimp on your pasta. This is what I want to see. Oh, yes. Man, I hope we got that on camera. I know we did, actually.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm gonna take it over here, and it's gonna be time to taste.
So now we come over here. We're gonna just finish with some garnish, some parsley, and everything. And
Beautiful.
it is ready for you.
I just love that pop of color.
Yes, sir.
Get that pop of color. Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Let's go here. Come on,
You first.
Let's go, man. We'll. Oh, I love that you're using angel hair too.
Yes, sir. Let me ask you a question. Do you eat the whole shrimp, tail and all?
You know, my dad does that.
Really?
I don't mind it.
Yes, sir.
Do you take the whole thing with the tail?
Yes, sir.
Yes, we're eating the whole tail. Here we go. That's the bite you want, right
Yes, sir.
there. See that? That is the bite you want, friends. A little bit of everything. See that red pepper that's on there, the parsley? We're going tail and all.
Yes,
Cheers.
sir. Cheers.
I need a minute. Chef. Chef Nick
Yes, sir.
or Chef Nicola? Man, you sure you're not Italian?
No, sir. No, sir.
Again, I said this a little earlier, but I really want to punch this home.
Yes, sir.
You don't need 50 ingredients all the time.
No, sir.
Especially with Italian food. It's about simple ingredients done right, used the right way, and cooked properly.
Yes, sir.
The shrimp is cooked to perfection.
Thank you.
To perfection. And I love you're using angel hair too, because it allows us to really get more of that sauce, because that sauce
Soaks everything
oh
up.
my
Yes,
gosh.
sir.
It soaks it up, but it doesn't feel like it's undersauced.
Right.
Because it's that really fine angel hair that we're using. And then again, the shrimp, you're right. You can taste the fact that that shrimp's been sitting and marinating in that that garlic and olive oil. I mean, that's just all the way through.
Yes,
Just
sir.
all, I'm sorry, I'm taking another bite.
It's all for you. All for
You
you.
can cut if you want to. I don't care. We're gonna sit here. We're gonna take another bite. Let's go. So, did you have to learn all of these new dishes on the saute station?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Roy himself, he brought me in one day when we were closed, and he taught me how to do all of this. Yes,
Because
sir.
the fish was originally the big draw, right? It was. I mean, you guys were doing
Yes, sir.
90% catfish or something.
Yes, sir.
And now look at us. Look at us, Nick.
Having shrimp and pasta now.
Did you ever think you'd be in a kitchen like this, cooking Italian food at a steakhouse
No, sir.
in a beautiful restaurant?
It's amazing. It's honestly, it's a great environment to be in.
Well, Ben, I keep bringing up the steak because I can't leave here without having a steak. What do you think?
I like that idea.
Yeah?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna head outside. I'm gonna let you go ahead and do what you do on that beautiful char griller right there.
Yes, sir.
steak coming our way. My gosh. Nicola! See you for a steak next. So I finally got Roy and Dee sitting down together with us. Man, so many questions because your story's crazy. This is, I mean, it's just wild. But we can't let this food stare us in the face and not discuss it. You certainly are a steakhouse.
Yes.
I know before fish was the big thing, and I get it in this area, but brother, sister, look at this stuff. So what are these two? I mean, this is a steak, but talk me through these two.
Our decision here, because we are a Country Western Steakhouse and Catfish, we wanted to bring a steak to the area that we were proud of and the people would be proud of.
Okay.
We went with certified Hereford. So this is a certified Hereford USDA choice steak.
Beautiful.
And we cook it to perfection. We charbroil it. We keep the right amount of fat and marbling so that in every bite you know that you're eating a great steak.
Love that.
A little bit of compound butter, not to take away from the flavor, but just to add to it just a little bit. And the steak is something that I'm very proud of at this restaurant.
Wonderful. And this pork chop, man, talk to me. Somebody tell me what's going on here.
Well, we wanted to bring something different just besides steak and fish. And
Pork chop made
with
sense.
Pork chop.
Bone in, I
grilled,
see.
Bone in, cut in-house.
Oh, you guys are cutting these in-house too?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, man, all right.
The Dijon sauce on top, and it's just been a hit. It's coming on as quick as a steak.
It smells delicious. And again, I love that you guys have those char grillers back there because you can see those hatch marks on there and you can see the char, that fat there on that pork. I mean, these just look great. So, all right, let's start digging in.
All right.
You guys want to start cutting that? I'll cut this, but
Okay.
I've got so many questions. All right, so let's talk about the fire at the previous location.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, you guys started there in approximately what year was that?
We bought
2016.
we bought the restaurant in 2016. The restaurant has been around for 50 years.
Right, so I mean, it's been a staple of this town for a while.
It has. It's been an iconic restaurant. Kids have grown up in this restaurant. They bring their kids, and then they bring their kids, and it just
Generational.
It is a generational restaurant.
Was it one of those things where it's kind of the spot where you go for your celebrations, for birthdays, graduations in the town?
Absolutely.
It was, and it is. We have some extra room in the back where people can come in and have these parties, but it's also where you come after church. Sunday mornings from 11 o'clock till 2 o'clock is just constant families in and out. And it becomes a social event. It's not just one family having dinner over here and another. These are talking to them. They're talking to them, and so it becomes kind of a party.
It's the social hub.
It is
of this town. Okay, so then restaurants been around for 40 years. You guys then come in because they're done with it. They're ready to go, ready to move on. And you guys kind of swooped in and said, "We can't let this die in this town. We need this place. We need Country and Western."
We did. We saw it as an opportunity, and we didn't want it to close. In fact, when we bought it, the whole emphasis was not to close. So not a day closed. The restaurant was not closed for a day.
Oh, so even when the previous owners were like, "Hey, we're out of here, 2 weeks. Thank you and good night,"
they stepped out, handed us the keys. We started the next day.
With no restaurant experience.
Zero.
Oh my gosh.
She worked at McDonald's when she was in high school. So that's
about as far as we go, which they do not serve these at McDonald's, by the way. And then so you're learning on the fly at that point.
We were.
You have to be.
We were. It was all just get in there with blood, sweat, and tears and then figure it out.
We had a fantastic staff, though. They stepped right up. They all stayed. They got us through everything we needed, and we can't say enough about them.
But you're basically building a plane while it's in flight. That's kind of what you're doing.
Sure.
But like she said, we had staff that helped us through some hard times because we're figuring it out. And Wanda, our restaurant manager, has been with the restaurant since it started 50 years ago. So she was a staple when it came to figuring things out, and,
Wow.
and she was always there to say, "Dee, it's going to be all right."
Yeah.
Man, real quick, we're not done with this conversation, but I got to stop for that steak. Are you kidding me? You were right about that fat marbling, and I'm telling you that char. I love the char on that steak.
Yeah, I do too.
Golly. So, then the fire, right? Well, not only that, but you know, I don't want to undersell it. So I kind of want you to explain to everyone here. It wasn't just the fire, because there were floods and there were global pandemics. I mean, what all did you guys go through over there?
So we had the flood. I cannot recall that year, but the whole town came out that night and helped us clean it up. We opened the next day.
Probably had
Shop
50 people from the community came out with shop vacs and squeegees. There was probably 8 inches of water in the restaurant, and from the time that we were able to go in on Monday night till Tuesday morning, we had help and we got it dry and we opened up.
So I mean, that's like a Hallmark movie. Like the whole town coming together to help you, and you're open the next day.
I still have shop vacs. I don't know who they belong to.
Man, so the whole 50 people come out and help you, and the next day you're open.
We were.
I can't get 2 people to help me move. I can't. That's ridiculous. So that tells me already what this restaurant means, and meant and means to the town.
Yeah.
So we got the flood. We have a global pandemic,
For sure.
which you made it through that as well, clearly.
We did.
And then the fire.
Right.
Here's my honest to God question. After all of that, you have your own backgrounds prior to being a restaurant anyway. I mean, you're chiropractor and you work there as well. And I mean, why keep I mean, after a flood, a pandemic, and a fire where it burns the building to the ground, pardon my, what in the hell were you guys thinking?
Well, we have 40 employees we have to take care of, and they mean a lot to us. And we know all their family, we know everything about them, spend a lot of time together. And then the community. Country and Western is a staple in Camden. And where do you go on Friday nights with your family? Don't have a Country and Western, or where do you go Sunday after church?
That is incredible.
A community during the pandemic, they would come get their takeout orders and sit in the back of their truck in front of the old restaurant just to be at Country and Western. So there's just that feeling of home here. This is where the community wants to spend their evenings, and it took us 2 days to decide. It was that quick, and it was the option to walk away was there, but neither one of us could do it.
Yeah.
And so we said, let's go, and we
Gathered our management team. We came here.
We did.
Looked around, said, "What can we do?" And
wow.
the crew got to work 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
And we all remember this. We all wanted someplace to feel normal during that pandemic. I mean, it didn't matter if it was for 30 minutes or for an hour.
Right.
Just, man, give me something that makes me feel normal.
Sure.
And I have goosebumps thinking about you guys were that safe place for Camden, Tennessee. So that makes sense. I mean, if the community comes out for you like that, it probably almost felt like a bit of an obligation to rebuild. Like, we have to do this for this town.
It did. It did. It honestly did.
Wow, that's just incredible. And so, back to the food now before I start tearing up with you guys. My goodness. This pork chop is incredible. And this mustard sauce, what is in here? Is it like a mustard cream, little onion, little what's
It is. A little heavy cream, Dijon mustard, a little cayenne pepper, and it's cooked down. It takes a long time to get the thickness because it's just and white wine, and it's a very thin sauce to start with, and we cook it down for about 2 hours to get to that thick.
Whoa,
Yeah.
so slow and low reduction on it.
It
Well,
is.
now that you say that, that makes sense because the concentration of flavor in that's outside. You need to sell that, man. And that pork chop is seasoned so perfectly. And I'll tell you what, I'm a ribeye guy. And also with pork chops, I just got a beautiful burst of fat because again, it comes back to that char griller.
Yeah.
You see that, you got this crust on here, right? There's a little bit of a fat crust around there where the bone is. Right there, you see? And what happens is when I just got a bite of that with the lean part and a little bit of this fat right here, little pop of flavor, a little crunch and then a pop of fat.
Yeah.
And that is what you're looking for. I know that's food nerdy, I know, don't at me. But that's what I mean, that's what you love about it.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
And you weren't always pork chops and steaks. I mean, of course it's still country and western steakhouse and catfish. But catfish, before you got over here, that was the leader. And that was leader in the clubhouse, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it still is. It still is a very, very popular dish here.
And well, if all you've had so far is catfish here, might I recommend that you come and grab a pork chop or maybe even a steak. This is just dynamite. So, I just put a big piece of pork chop in my mouth. I couldn't help. I forgot we're doing a show for a minute. I just went to town. And so what's been the response since, you've risen from the ashes, quite literally?
The response has been phenomenal. The community loves us. We love them. We're drawing in people from other counties. We're date nights for people now. It's been incredible.
This would be a definite date night spot. I'm telling you that. If you live anywhere in Camden, this is where you take your date.
Yeah.
Problem is, then you set the bar here, and then they want to go there, a couple times a week.
Well, thank you.
So what's the future hold then? Is it just the continued growth, more continued outreach to the community? What's the future hold here at Country and Western?
I think continuing to grow with the community and
it's going great. It really is. We're really happy with the response that we've gotten. We've brought on a lot of new customers. We've brought in a different clientele that likes the change in the menu, and I do see just continued growth, filling up every Friday and Saturday night, and just keeping the party going on Sundays.
Well,
grow but stick to our roots too.
That's the key. You know what? Drop the microphone. That's it right there. Because this place is gorgeous. It looks like we just jumped out of HGTV. But at the same time, there's something homey about this pork chop and with this steak and with that fish that we had. There's just something that's Southern home cooking about it that I do feel like I'm still there. You know?
I'm not a chef. These are my recipes. This is what I cook at home. And I was able to reproduce it in this kitchen just like I would do it at home. So this really and truly is what you would have at our house.
You might not be a chef by certificate, sir, but this is chefy food you got going on. It is. It's the Southern classics, but with just a little bit of modern twist on it. Kind of like your decor here. It's modern but comfortable, approachable, just like the food.
Yeah. That's exactly.
And that's what we shot. That's what we went for.
Well, I got to thank you guys for allowing us to come in, hang out with you today, meet your staff. This has just been more than I think we expected. And I'll tell you what, if you are anywhere near Camden, Tennessee, this is a destination restaurant. It's one of those places that, it's one of those, like for me, a big food nerd, a couple places that, I'll circle on the map, and if I'm within 30 minutes off the highway, I'm going. Yeah. And this is one of those places. So thank you guys so much. And I want to congratulate you too. Keep going out there. Listen to this story. Floods, pandemics, fires, burned to the ground. Community first attitude, keeping people employed. That is what America's Best Restaurants is all about. So thank you guys for giving us the time today.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Man, talk about resilient. Sounds to me like Country and Western is in good hands with their new owners. And not only that, they're in good hands by being in a town like Camden, who, as you can see, will just continue to lift them up in this town. I'm Greg Hudson. We'll see you next time on America's Best Restaurants.